And we're live. We're back.
We're back.
Is this possible?
Been what, 6 months?
Oof.
Or more? Who knows?
Feels like 6 years sometimes, brother. But TnF Wrestling, it's back. And it's here for FastLane, and it's here to give you predictions and thoughts. We're going to cover real quick the Ronda Rousey kayfabe stuff. Talk about what we think is happening for FastLane and WrestleMania. And Frank, where do you want to start?
Well, I think the biggest story is the return of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was in remission, got over cancer, which is great to hear. Nice to hear that was not a severe case, but, you know, he's had to take some pills, had some chemo, and he's back and looks good, you know, and looks like he's getting cheers, and the crowd hasn't turned on him yet. Yeah. And he's being more himself now. Looks like they're kind of letting him go a little, at least for time being. I don't know how long that's going to last, but
yeah. Also too, like once they turn Roman on, so to speak, and he gets serious about like going for the title again or whatever it is, and he's not like chill Joe, you know, we'll see what happens then. But right now it's fun, and I'm glad. I'm surprised and I'm happy that he was able to recover so quickly, and I really feel like as long as they don't go overboard with the way they pushed him early and the Cena treatment, so to speak, that, you know, for lack of a better term, if they don't go crazy with that, you can have a nice ride where people will cheer Roman the face as long as it doesn't get too crazy.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest question is going to be, so obviously Seth Rollins is in the main event spot right now of Raw. You know, he's a top guy considered on the show. And how long does that last? Like, how long does Vince hold off before he puts Roman back into that spot? Because it's inevitable that's going to happen. And how do you do it now?
The one thing I hope, just for the sake of Vince not overthinking things and just, you know, pushing Roman to the moon again and just pick up, you know, 2 months ago 2.0, is hopefully there's that back of the mind kind of concern. What if he's not all the way back yet? Right? He just had you know, it's one thing to come back and you know, be in a tag team match with guys that you've traveled up and down the road with for years. It's another thing to be putting on main event matches against top guys for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is, if, you know, he's not back in wrestling shape yet. Yeah, but he looks great. He, you know, and I have faith in him that, you know, he's not going to do something he doesn't physically think he can do right now.
Oh, shit. Christian on the pre-show.
Wow. Captain Charisma himself.
So if you haven't noticed, we're kind of close to showtime, so we have the pre-show on as we're doing the podcast as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with Roman. We'll see what they do with him, and you know, should be interesting to see how he's played. I'm just gonna see what happens tonight, though. Like, I'm wondering if they're gonna have Ambrose turn on him. Are they gonna set up a match with him at WrestleMania, or are they gonna just stick with the plan, which I believe is Baron Corbin? And honestly, if Roman's not in the greatest shape yet and he's not in full force yet, that might be a good match for him to have. Have to do a quick, like, 10-minute match with Corbin, just to get his feet wet again, you know.
Especially because Corbin can be like the dominant heel for the match. Let Roman, you know, work back into it again. Also, too, you know, there'll probably be some rest holds and some like shenanigans outside of the ring, and then Roman can come back. And as long as you don't make it just like, he hulks up and he's fine now, and he's no selling everything and Superman punching 15 people, and then hits an AA to win. The same backlash is going to come back if you let this guy just organically go over again and ride this good wave of emotion and all that kind of stuff. You can have him have like one of those tough wins and he just comes back and maybe he gets a roll-up pin. God forbid, we don't have a match end with 15 finishers,
Yeah, or maybe maybe they put him in a multi-man match. Maybe they put somebody else in there. Maybe they put maybe there's something with Ambrose. They put Ambrose in the match or something. I don't know, because I don't know what they're going to do with Ambrose either.
And here's the other thing too. Like technically, if he's leaving and they just write him out for that aspect and don't actually have him have a match at Mania, you can do something with maybe with him and Seth. I don't know, but we'll see. It all depends on what all these things are happening in post Mania, and does Seth actually win the title? Does that moving forward? Does Seth get to the reins for a while so they let Roman ease his way back into the top spot again? Who knows?
That's what I'm kind of hoping for. Hopefully, Rollins gets a little shot and whatever. And
yeah, I hope Vince isn't. Like the one fear I have in all this is if Vince gets that itch where it's like, all right, Brock, look, here's $10 billion. Stay for SummerSlam where you're gonna put Roman over this time, and it's like just Superman punching all the way to SummerSlam, and the undefeatable, Cancer can't beat him, Brock can't beat, like people are gonna reject that storyline.
Yeah, I'm actually a little concerned that Rollins may not win at WrestleMania. I'm a little concerned about that. A little fear that might, Vince may change his mind on that.
Yeah,
sure, Roman back.
Everything is in flux again.
Yeah,
everything is in flux again with Roman coming back. And look, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Him being back, I think, is a good thing, especially if they do ease him back in.
No, and they definitely needed him, and I think ratings-wise, they need him back. It's just, it's definitely a help to the show. You could see the show feels better with him on it, to be honest. There was something missing with him. You lost Cena, you lost him, you had lost, all these other people. So it's a plus, I think, having him back.
All right.
It's good, and it's a genuine feeling now. It's a nice, warm feeling. Everyone likes him again, and we're so happy to see him back. We're all just happy. So I mean, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. And like I said, if they just let it organically ride, you can ride this wave of emotion past WrestleMania. Seth could be champ. Roman can work his way back up, so to speak, into a number one contender's role. Hell, maybe he goes and wins the Intercontinental or United States Championship. Let's also not forget there's a big shakeup coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Fox would love Roman Reigns to highlight SmackDown as well.
Yeah, I mean, if now we're hearing Ronda's pretty much gone after WrestleMania, and that was their big thing. Maybe they want the number two, top, the top person.
Yeah, I can't imagine she's gone. I can't imagine.
I don't think she'll be gone, but I think it'll be Brock Lesnar's schedule.
I could deal with part-time Ronda. I really could.
Yeah.
If she just does shows but doesn't wrestle every night, especially if she wants to do the heel run where the heel doesn't have to defend their championship until someone is worthy at a pay-per-view or something like that, and you can set up a lot of number one contender stuff and tournaments and whatever. I think that could be fun. That could be great. But yeah, I'm sure that the plan was, because if Ronda being part of the WWE was a selling point to Fox, I can't imagine Fox wouldn't have something in writing that says Ronda Rousey is the face of SmackDown. Yeah,
but if her contract gets up and she leaves, there's nothing they can really do. That's out of their hands.
But I mean, you think Fox would have gambled on her not re-signing a contract or something like that? I don't know. That seems like we're talking about, like, this is like the stratosphere. We're talking about billionaires negotiating with billionaires here. Fox is not gonna be like, oh great, yeah, we want Ronda on SmackDown. Yeah, sure, whatever you want. And then Ronda leaves and they have no fucking Ronda on SmackDown.
I don't know. Listen, we're dealing with Vince, the most shrewd businessman I've ever seen in my life. So
yeah, but how would that be good business for him?
No, it's not, because listen, Fox is not like everybody else. They can cancel him at any time and say, "Fuck you, you're going to FS1," or here.
Sure.
I'm going to move your time to 10 o'clock at night. Like, he really can't fuck with them.
Exactly. I cannot see Vince letting that happen. I cannot see Vince letting Ronda walk, even if he has to open up his pocketbook, his little Scrooge change purse.
Yeah, the 3.2 billionaire now. Fucking guy, fucking doubled his money from last year. Jesus Christ. So all right, so segue to Ronda, as we already did it.
Sure.
So the big news this week was her kayfabe interview where she officially destroyed kayfabe and it's officially dead and broken. And
how many times have we said officially though?
I don't know. This was pretty blatant, man. This is a high caliber person who people search and can find. I mean, I'm sorry. I know people are saying, "Oh, but not kids aren't on social media." They may not be on social media, but they're on a search engine.
Oh, no, they're on social
media right now, and they will find that.
Instagram is very young, people. I hope you realize that.
Well, that too, but.
And, I'm sure that made RondaRousey.com, the Ronda Rousey show on RondaRousey.com is absolutely on her Instagram somewhere.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, my view is I understand it's a work shoot. It is what it is, and I understand its storyline. I just don't like it. I don't like that they did that, and I just think you just ruined it for people who maybe don't know. And I just hope, the kids aren't seeing this.
Yeah, it's like the Santa Claus argument, right? Basically, like if you're going around talking about how Santa Claus isn't real in front of a bunch of kids, you could be the asshole that ruins Christmas for them, right?
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I don't like the tearing down, and also too the everybody equivalating it to now the Triple H thing. There's a difference. There's a different feel, right? Because obviously, Triple H is like, oh, Richard Fliehr, and you're not talking to the character, you're talking to the man, blah, 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 blah. But that's like, it's the way I worded it at one point was, it's the kayfabe break of kayfabe, right? This is like years ago when he really went to Randy Orton's house. And remember, he knocked on the door, and the wife goes to answer, and you hear Orton yelling, "Don't answer it!" And Triple H comes in and fucking throwing him through the window and all that kind of shit, right? It's that suspension of disbelief, right? That you kind of like, oh yeah, it's like watching an episode of Cops or watching like reality television. That
it's even like you're watching a movie. We know Tom Cruise is really Tom Cruise. But he's Ethan, what's his name from Mission Impossible. And we're invested in that character because we've seen him in 20,000 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of where do you separate?
There's been movies that break the fourth wall. Deadpool's a fun character that breaks down every wall. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't like the nasty feel of her break of kayfabe, but here's the thing: it's exactly what they want to do.
No, obviously
they want the fans to hate her right now. They want that rage. They want Ronda to get booed out of the building, so that the next night Ronda can complain about being booed out of the building, and encourages every place that she's at next to be louder and boo her out of their building. And it's this machine. Do I like the reality? Because again, Triple H saying, "Oh, you're not talking to the character. That's the character telling me that I'm looking at the man. It's not the man. That's not Paul Levesque saying I'm gonna go punch Hollywood star and Drax in the nose. It's like, oh, hey, look at the Whereas her video, because it's done in like today's social media and the reality era aspect of it, it feels like, oh, here's this MMA star that's not a wrestler, right? Wrestling's not in her blood. Wrestling's not in her family. This hasn't been a passion of hers since she's been 8 years old. She didn't go to the Garden and cheer on Lita or Mickey James or somebody. Like, she's a fucking MMA star. She's a huge star. She's been in movies, and she wanted to take the plunge into WWE. It's something that intrigued her. It's something that she's wanted to do. She's liked wrestling. Yeah, I get it. It's cool. But she's on that outside, right? Everybody almost keeps that wall up against her. She's not really a wrestler. She's just a Hollywood MMA chick playing wrestling, right? Kind of thing. Yeah. So when she says something in a realistic way, they feel like, here she is. She really is disrespecting the business. Kayfabe is dead. bruh, 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 bruh. You know, it's like, whereas obviously you're not going super crazy about it. There are those then that are going to the stream that they're like, yeah, she should be fired. Vince should terminate her contract. Who the hell does she think she is? Nobody's bigger than the WWE. And meanwhile, everybody yelling for Vince to fire her. He's just sitting there in one of those memes, like laughing with the money, right? Because this is creating more money, more interest, more buzz.
Just imagine Ted DiBiase. That's all.
Sure, right?
So what else? Yeah, I mean.
So yeah, my summation.
Some people overreacting a lot more. Obviously,
yeah,
I
sure.
have my gut feeling of knowing the business.
And I get where you're coming from. I do agree with that kind of sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be mad at it or call it the killing of kayfabe, because this is more and more social media has been used to be the avenue, right? We're loving the Ronda and Becky and Charlotte and Lacey Evans and all these girls like tweeting back and forth and chirping at each other and all this kind of stuff. We love it when wrestlers go back and forth on social, and we know that that's not real. And if another dude did a video like this, we'd probably be, some kind of indie guy that was hot or whatever, I don't know, like if Aleister Black was getting screwed by the McMahons and he made a video, like no one would be losing their mind, I think, right? But because it's Ronda Rousey,
yeah, it's a high figure. Like I agree. If it wasn't her, if it was just one of the other wrestlers, we wouldn't care. But because I care more because she's a high caliber celebrity. She's not just a wrestler.
Yeah. There's a little bit of more responsibility that comes with her. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. She's in basically 3 different worlds. She's a wrestler, she's a UFC fighter, and she's an actress.
Yeah. And for somebody seeing it out of context, not knowing that it's part of the character and part of the act, right? Part of the gimmick, they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, fuck wrestling. It's fake. We love you, Ronda. Quit there. Come back to MMA. Woo! And that's not helping the business.
No, it's not.
That's like that.
It's
That's
not
the 15 minutes of fame kind of shit that WWE doesn't need 15 minutes of fame spots.
And not even for the people like me and you. We're passionate about wrestling. We defend it. We will admit to people we are wrestling fans, and we won't deny it. Now it's giving all of them saying, hey, see, look, Ronda Rousey said it's fake. It's not real. So it makes it even harder on us as the fans now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Let's be honest. Vince doesn't give a shit how easy it is for us in our daily lives to be fans or not. He worries about whether the money is, and this is where it's at.
Listen, he just doubled his money literally last year. He went from 1.3 billion to 3-point-something billion now. I mean, I'm
sure that's inflated right now because of all the rights he owns to XFL.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
if that fails miserably, his value is going way down too.
I mean, listen, you got the Saudi stuff, you got the Fox deal. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that his money has tripled and doubled this year. So I mean, he's had a very.
And now, is that WWE's worth or his personal worth?
His personal worth.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon alone. And Triple H, Stephanie has nothing to do. It's just his personal worth.
Yeah.
3.2 billion right now. Fucking insane.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of projections and not actual liquid assets, but yeah.
Yeah, most of it's stock, and it's not real money, but
Yeah, but still, to be worth that much theoretically is crazy. Oh, Lana's still in the boot. Oh, glad they're still selling that aspect. The thing that was, the issue between Nakamura and Rusev to begin with.
Oh yeah.
Great storytelling. Anyway, so yeah, I think we covered the Ronda shit. Want to get right into predictions, or was there anything else you wanted to quick hit on the news?
I'm thinking. I guess not. Let's just go into this, and if the stuff comes through, we'll just go that way.
Cool.
All right. So I guess we'll start with the match that's on right now.
Yes.
You got
there was a cool sign, a Kofi Mania sign that looks like the WrestleMania sign.
Oh, and they just did a cool promo, a little respect promo between Kofi and KO before. I think when you were talking, I was watching it a little, trying to listen.
Yeah, I saw it was up on the screen. I couldn't tell what was going on though.
Yeah, it just looked like a type of mutual respect type thing. You know, I'm not mad at you. It's not your fault, and whatever. And you know,
another thing. Why though? If you're gonna bring back KO,
I don't know why they did it this way. They just
why
don't
bring
do
him
anything
back as the seeming heel? Why not just like eat? And here's an easy thing to do, perfectly easy enough to do. It even adds value to your actual show. Have a number 1 contenders tournament. Like Vince says, you know what, Kofi, that's what up. But he doesn't name Kevin Owens. He just says, you know what, there's gonna be a tournament, blah 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 blah. And when let's say the last person is about to come out, or a gauntlet match, let's say, Kofi has to run the gauntlet. If he runs the gauntlet, he'll prove Vince's worth, and he can hold on to his spot. If not, the winner of the tournament will go on and obviously, go from there. And just have Kevin Owens be the last one to come out. First off, you get a huge, like, oh shit, Kevin Owens is back, pop.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, if he beats Kofi, it's like, yeah, maybe people boo a little bit because it's a Kofi moment, but it's not like, here's Vince McMahon, no chance in hell, Kevin Owens. Like, why did that have to be a thing?
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. All right, so we got New Day versus Nakamura and Rusev. God, how the mighty have really fallen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I have to think Nakamura and Rusev win here.
I don't. I think you might have New Day. Well, oh yeah, you know what? Kofi's not in the match, so never mind.
Kofi's not in the match, and if you are legitimately going to do anything with Nakamura and Rusev, you gotta legitimize them, and they gotta start winning some matches together.
Mm-hmm.
It can't always be goofy Lana-centric matches.
Yeah, no, you're
especially if Nakamura is legitimately unhappy, and you think he might leave. Why put him in shitty storylines? Like legitimately, you have to know and understand that a storyline that started with the two of them hating each other, and then there's an incident that should boil it over to now we're all expecting like, oh, this is going to be a really good feud. This is going to kick it into gear. They'll pass back the United States Championship a couple times. Well, shit, what happened? What? Wait, Lana's hurt and now they're a tag team and Truth is champ and what? I don't understand. Why do all that? It was a weird, awkward spin out of nowhere for no reason, and it doesn't seem to be benefiting anybody. Yes, Truth is getting some time in the spotlight, and God bless him, he deserves it. I'm not mad that Truth has the belt. To do that to Nakamura and Rusev, who legitimately could be like the top of the second tier level, especially when you are hurting at the top level.
I mean, listen, these are guys who were last year. One of them was I don't know if they were. Well, they weren't. No, they weren't tag champs, but they're basically always in the mix of the tag champs. You had Nakamura, who was in the freaking one of the main events for WrestleMania with AJ Styles. And
Rusev, 2 years ago or whatever it was, Rusev came out on a goddamn tank.
Yeah, Rusev's all fucked. They fucked up Rusev so bad, and you can see it. He's just unhappy and miserable. And I'm telling you, he's going to be one of the guys that will leave and go to AEW when his contract's up. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I see that very easily. There's a lot of guys that aren't happy. Oh, the other thing I want to mention, I don't know if you saw, Gallows and Anderson turned down WWE's contract.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's huge, considering how much Anderson was like, "I'm never leaving. Why would I leave here? I'd be crazy to leave here."
Yeah.
Listen, can't blame them. They're not being used at all. They're not doing anything with them.
Here's the thing, though. Until they sign somewhere else, this could just be a negotiating tactic. Because it's not like their contract is up in a week.
No.
And this was WWE's final offer. They have another couple months, right?
I don't know. It should be now because remember they all signed those 3-year deals when they came in 3 years ago.
Oh, I thought something I read about it the other day said that they still have a few months, like 3 months.
Maybe a little more. I don't know. I don't know if one
anyway,
of them
I got at least if I'm not mistaken, I got the impression it's not like their contract is up in a week or two.
No.
Like,
I was thinking maybe like Ambrose a little after WrestleMania, but given when Ambrose news came out, it's probably another month, probably the end of May or something.
yeah. So, I mean, this could easily be a negotiating tactic. Like, oh, shit, they turned down their offer. We know AEW's fucking hiring. You know, we need to give them more money or whatever, more time off, whatever the case may be. If they feel like they want to hold on to these guys, then they up the price. And if not, then they go to AEW. Now, it's not, for the most part, too, Gallows is part of him saying, like, why would I leave WWE is because the thought is, if not there, where? Probably back to New Japan. Right? I don't see Gallows and Anderson necessarily going to ROH.
No. And I don't think that the whole point of them going to WWE was to be home with their families, you know?
Exactly.
Thing Anderson said that, like, you know, I want to be close to my family. He's got like 3-4 kids. I mean,
exactly. You know. So WWE a few months ago or whenever it was that, you know, he talked about that, made perfect sense. Now AEW is a realistic thing in the world. They're also based in the United States. He can stay at home and have a reduced schedule, and they'll probably still pay him a considerable amount of money. Maybe not as much as WWE, but you know what? If you're working half the time but getting 3/4 of the salary, I mean, I think that's a win-win, right?
And you made your money here. I mean, listen, you work here a couple of years, you make your money. You're good.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you're smart.
Yeah, and they're smart with money. You know, you hope. I mean, they're a lot smarter.
These guys are making like tens of millions of dollars. Some of them, you know, like they're making good livings and stuff, but not extravagant like set for life money either.
No, I mean, they're not making like AJ money. They're not making John Cena money where they can never have to work again in their lives. You know, but.
Right. So anyway, and I think you need to give Rusev and Nakamura some momentum, but I would not be surprised if New Day wins either. The feel good, beat the heels win to start the night, sure, why not?
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, I'm with you there. All right, looks like the match is about that. All right, next is my favorite match because these guys are just magic together. Rey Mysterio and Andrade, they are just amazing together.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I really want people, even if you're not interested in this match, like even if the rivalry, let's say, doesn't excite you, right? You're waiting for, like, you know, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and, you know, all the. Watch Andrade work. The dude is really good in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you know, like a lot of people, and credit to him at his age, especially, and the shape. Like a few years ago, Rey Mysterio was like, "My knees are shot, man. I can't wrestle anymore," and he's still going, and he's still wrestling at a pretty high level. He's not what he used to be, but you know what? He's still not embarrassing himself out there by any stretch of the imagination, right?
No,
but the things that he's doing right now in these matches with Andrade, you don't see him doing those in matches against anybody else.
No,
like, the two of them work really well together. And if you just like, sometimes especially if I'm not into a match, I watch one person, right? Watch them call the match or watch the other person dictate the match. Who's actually, because honestly, no disrespect to Rey Mysterio, because he's an amazing athlete and the longevity that he's had with his career. I may not have liked him at times in his career, especially in the WWE, but an amazing athlete and the things that he's done and entertained. He's a high caliber, you know, Hall of Famer caliber kind of person, right? But 90% of his offense is the other person catching them, spinning them, flowing, flipping themselves, whatever the case may be, to make Rey's moves work, right? These things where Rey Mysterio grabs you by his ankles and all of a sudden you go like flying, like that doesn't work. Like that physically, that doesn't happen, right? To make those moves look good, the other people need to be working with him, right? Now he does things physically that most people can't, so that to even get to that point where you need that person making these, and he's got amazing balance, and the fact that he can pull off several moves, boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
But There's a lot that the other people do to make his stuff look good. Ray is a goddamn master at it. He is fucking beautiful out there to watch.
No, it looks seamless. When he does it with Andrade, it just looks seamless. It doesn't look like he's overselling for him. It doesn't look like Ray's not doing work. It looks legit real.
But like if you watch Andrade, especially his hands, watch the wrestler's hands, right? Especially in a match like this where they're doing a lot of this stuff and he's supporting Ray and all this kind of stuff. Watch him like get ready to receive Ray, to get into right position. Like look at like here's a difference, right? And obviously these are two ends of the spectrum as far as like body type and whatever. But like look at Cena when he tries to do like a springboard stunner. And then you look at somebody like Andrade who's manipulating the other wrestler around him to make him look good, and in turn Andrade, sells and all that kind of stuff. Like he's a master craftsman. Like when he first came up, I almost felt like he was a little lazy in his wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he was. Maybe he was kind of mailing it in a little bit sometimes. But watching him work recently, and especially the way he's been working with Ray, seeing what he puts into his matches is something that you should pay attention to because this guy's good. He really, really is.
No, he's really talented.
Yeah,
he really is.
So I don't know. Do you think they continue to let Andrade gain a little bit of momentum here?
Yeah,
kind of be the dominating heel leading up to one more match?
I see no reason for Ray to win this match. I think it's Andrade.
Again, if it's like the opening match and you want the feel-good face win, I could see a Ray win.
It's the match after this match. It's a kickoff. Well, no, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's almost 7, so maybe it's gonna be at 7 o'clock. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's the first match of the night.
Yeah.
Either that or it's a second if they put something else high profile up.
This is supposed to be on the pre-show, but that's not happening. So I guess they changed it.
Unless they got it cut or we missed it before. I don't know.
No, I've been watching the whole thing. So
okay.
I've had the problem with 6. So even 5:30. They were showing last week's thing. Unless they're going to 8 o'clock. Unless they're actually going to 8 o'clock today, but I think it still starts at 7 today.
Yeah, so. I think they're supposed to be all like 7 to 10:30 now.
Yeah, right. All right. All right. So next on the card is the last time ever, the Shield versus McIntyre, Corbin, and Lashley.
Yeah,
So this is just a matter of what their angle is going to be going forward. I think it's a nice feel-good moment for the fans to see the Shield reunited one more time, and probably the last time if Ambrose is in fact leaving. Still kind of up in the air with Roman Reigns coming back and him saying he's going to convince him to stay.
Yeah. And I wonder if Roman felt any pressure to come back as quickly as he can to try and do this for Dean. I wonder if there's any of that in it.
I mean, from what I'm hearing, everything was his decision. Vince didn't force anything onto him, and
sure.
But maybe
I'm saying internally. I'm saying internally, did Roman feel like, hey, if I want my dude to stay, right, and he's quirky and he's out there, I know it, but if I feel like if I'm there and I can talk to him, everything's going to be all right. And I wonder if it because honestly, even with him being healthy and stuff, why bring him back right before Mania? Like, why not let him coast again for another couple weeks? Maybe mention it right before WrestleMania, be a part of WrestleMania weekend, and then start wrestling, after Mania.
Because this is what he wanted. He wanted to come back. From what I'm hearing, it was all on him. It was his decision, and he wanted to come back.
I guess.
Listen, when how they are, man. When they have when there's life, and he's in his prime. He's in the highlight. Oh, okay.
Pin Rusev.
Biggie. But he's in the prime of his career. He's in that high day, and I guess he doesn't want to lose any time. I can't blame him. You know how the other guys were. And he's been doing. It's not like he's been home. He's been doing things. He shot the movie with The Rock and whatever else he was doing.
Sure.
I just do awareness. The cancer now too.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying he wants to probably do awareness now for leukemia. He wants to be around.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you don't need to be wrestling to do all that.
No, I agree.
He doesn't have to have a quote-unquote storyline match right now. He could have come back, said, hey, I'm in remission. It's going to take some time to get back into, ring shape, but hit the road hard. Use this as quote-unquote time off that you can do something and help people. And so hit the road hard, right? Do all the TV interviews, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean you have to be ready to fucking force a WrestleMania match. Because let's be honest, as good of a shape as he looks in, and I'm sure he's worked hard while he's been away, but he can't be like main event wrestle ready yet. You know what I mean? Like,
no way.
In-ring shape and all that kind of stuff, the wind and all that kind of stuff. And again, he looks like he's in great shape. It doesn't look like, he had a ton of like, because, especially going through like the chemo, depending on how your body is affected by it and all that kind of stuff, even if it's not serious, there can be some, some atrophy, some stuff like that. Not feeling like you can hit the gym every day, all that kind of shit, right? But he's young, he's healthy, he's a fucking horse, so he looks like he's good, he looks like he's healthy, but he can't be sharp in the ring yet. It's just that's going to take some time. That's why I'm hoping they're not going to force like some super high, like if he gets inserted into a 3-way match at Mania with Seth and fucking Brock.
No, I don't think they're gonna. No, they're not gonna have him touch anything with that. But he may have the match with Corbin. Like I said, it could be good. And listen, he'll have 6 to 8 weeks. He's getting ready. Yeah, he can probably get back in shape in that time.
Sure, and to fight Corbin, sure. To be involved in the main event of WrestleMania?
No, of course not. Yeah, but again, even if you are involved in the great main event of WrestleMania, you're wrestling Brock. It's a 10-minute match.
Yeah, but it's also the optics of it, like I was talking about before.
It's a lot of abuse, and it's a lot of it's a lot. You have to work a lot.
But also, too, what is he going to have a match with Brock, and he's not going to take 15 suplexes? Like Roman Reigns is going to go out there and have somebody baby him around? Fuck that. He's not doing that. But anyway, I digress. All right, so what's up next?
All right. I don't know if this is the right order at all, but actually Becky and Charlotte, Becky wins, she's in. She doesn't, she's not. Most likely she will win and get in, because otherwise everything's all for nothing.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm curious how they do it, and my guess is going to be some type of roll up or something like that. So, like a cheap victory. Obviously, she's not going to dominate Charlotte or anything like that.
You think Ronda gets involved?
Maybe she attacks Becky. She wins by DQ. Yeah, you can do that.
Right?
Yeah, you can do that.
Sell the leg injury a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to sell the leg injury until WrestleMania. It's ridiculous, but they're going to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but you can't have her go out there and wrestle a good match and then still fucking play the knee off, right? Like, it's not like Kinesio tape where you can just leave it on Cesaro's shoulder. Like, you can't have her wrestle a good match on a good knee and then pretend it hurts again on Monday night, But anyway. Yeah, I figure at some point in time, she's going to get the figure 8 put on her, and oh my God, there's no way Becky with her knee like this is going to be able to survive, and somehow she gets the ropes or some shit. But yeah, I could easily see them doing the whole Ronda comes out in the middle of the match just when it looks like Charlotte's going to whatever, and she just attacks Becky. Becky wins by DQ, technically winning the match, technically getting inserted into WrestleMania, Charlotte will complain, but you know what? She's still in the match, so it doesn't matter. The heel gets to complain about everything. Becky gets to come out, look smug, and say, shut the fuck up. It follows the narrative. I would not be surprised at that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow Becky is technically winning this. She can be inserted into the main event of WrestleMania. One of the main events.
Yeah. All right. Now we got the SmackDown Women's title. Obviously, this is probably just a warm-up. Mandy Rose versus Asuka. Hopefully, Mandy doesn't drop Asuka on her back again. Night.
Yeah. And to her credit, Mandy has looked better in the ring.
Yeah. But Asuka's so cold right now, man. Jesus, he's been on TV like what, twice or three times since Rumble.
And it's been all the Naomi shit with Mandy, and Asuka's just been kind of floating around.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully, because they haven't been having this big feud where they have to wrestle every week, maybe they've been taking some time backstage, or maybe even in the performance center. Hopefully, working together a little bit. But who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, that's what I envision like the performance center as, or even them just wherever they are in that time. There's got to be local gyms that have rings. You know what I mean? Rent one out for an hour or whatever, and run the ropes with each other. Go over the match a little bit. You know, hey, when I do this, what do you like to do? Do this, what should I do? You know?
Yeah.
It has the potential if they don't get to work together to be a fucking very awkward match, right? Because Asuka's very fucking like strong style ish, and Mandy is not that accomplished in the ring, so fucking botches and accidents and shit, like that's the kind of stuff you worry about in a match like this. But like I said, to her credit, Mandy has been looking better. I think the offensive moves that she's putting on look a little bit more fluid, so I'm not as worried about other people getting hurt by them. You know, like it used to look like a little erratic and not really as predictable. Now it's a little smoother, like because she does that running like knee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a bicycle kick knee to the face. And that can be fucking dangerous, right? If the knee's not where you think it's going to be and you turn one way and the fucking knee's there, like Seth and John Cena.
Yeah.
Right? Just as simple. And Cena said, I thought his knee was going to be there. I put my face there. His knee was there. You know? But anyway.
Yeah, so Asuka retains here and goes to WrestleMania champ, and we'll see who she's going to get to fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mandy gets herself disqualified.
Yeah, could be.
I know we're talking a lot about potential like hokey finishes and DQs and stuff, and I don't think there's going to be like 5 or 6 of them with DQs, but I think 5 or 6 of them could end in DQs.
Yeah, I think this is one of those shows where it's just it shows strictly to set up WrestleMania.
You know? Sure.
And listen, they usually don't have They usually don't have a pay-per-view this close to WrestleMania either. It's kind of weird they're doing it, but
yes, because isn't it Elimination Chamber is the last one before Mania?
Yeah, and then they use 6 weeks to build WrestleMania, but
yeah. So
here we're literally 3 weeks out, I think, or a month at this point.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so
like a month and a week, 5 weeks, something like that.
No, we're 3 to 4 weeks out because it's April 5th or 6th, and we're March 10th right now.
Oh, so it's that first. Oh, for some reason I was thinking it was later. It was like the second weekend or whatever.
No.
So yeah, if it's the first weekend, we're 3 plus weeks out.
Yeah, we're 4 weeks out. All right. So next you have the Samoans versus Sasha and Bailey for the tag.
Shane O'Mac's coming out. That's going to be the first match of the night.
All right.
All right, so quick. But they're facing the Usos again, right?
Yeah, Usos, and we expect. All right, let's review this quick then. Yeah, so Shane and Miz versus the Usos. Obviously, this match is probably just to, have the Usos retain and have Miz turn on Shane most likely and set up the WrestleMania match.
Okay. It doesn't excite me, but it's probably it. So yeah.
But I saw Miz's dad here before. I wonder if Miz's dad's get involved somehow.
Maybe. Right? Because the whole if it's Shane's fault this time, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He let him down in front of his father or whatever.
Are they Cleveland?
Are they? I have no idea. I don't even remember where FastLane is supposed to be from.
Let me see if I can see where it's emanating from. No, there's nothing here about where it's from. I don't know. He just ripped off the shirt and the crowd went nuts. The Cleveland colors. Like they're going nuts. That's why I think it's Cleveland or it's Ohio somewhere.
Could be.
There's his dad. That'd be interesting.
What a goofy man Mrs. Dad is.
Very.
Mr. Miz.
His dad is.
Yeah. Oh, one thing, Pete from the Facebook page wants to know how much the show will suck tonight. Not being a wise ass, just not a really good show. Very predictable.
Pete, stop worrying about the wrestling show tonight and make sure you're going to show up at the baseball draft. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, Pete. Fucking Pete. Maybe we could get a couple of prizes tonight and maybe next couple weeks going into Mania. Interesting. Not sure if that was English either, Pete, but get to the baseball draft. And, yeah, I definitely think there is going to be some shaking up going on. One of the big news is not that I want to cover it too much, but unfortunately, fucking Ciampa's going under the knife, and he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, about 3 to 6 months, it seems like.
If 3 to 6 is all it is, then that's a fucking blessing.
Exactly.
Some of the people that were talking they were saying that this is like the similar kind of shit that Stone Cold Edge had.
No, it's not that severe. He should
that Sheamus is dealing with.
Hopefully, he's back by SummerSlam. Let's hope for that.
Your lips to God's ears.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yeah. So, all right, this match, I think we figured that out. What's going to happen, pretty much. All right. We go back to where we were. So, Nia Jax and Tamina versus Sasha and Bayley.
Or Nia.
Yeah. Whatever.
So, do they start the hot to potato the tag belts, or do they hug connection?
Yeah, I think they hold it till Mania because I think they're gonna. But I'm curious to see what they do. I'm sure it's gonna be like a multiple person match at Mania. But supposedly they can all go between inter shows and wrestle each other for this title because there's not much of a division yet, so they have to use both shows. But yeah, I expect them to retain and. Simple roll-up victory or something on Tamina, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. This is another, honestly, and that's the one thing I did want to say for Pete is, yes, some of these I think are predictable in the sense that I don't think a lot of belts are going to change hands, if any. But I don't know. There's a few of these matches that, like, if you wanted any kind of hardship for the faces to kind of chase the heels to WrestleMania for these belts and have that feel-good moment of them winning the belts at Mania, almost like winning it for the first time again kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see them having Nia and Tamina just beat the hell out of them and win. I think more likely than not, it's going to be one of those they get beaten up for like 25 minutes and then somehow, they get the Hulk up and Bayley hits a Bayley to belly on Tamina, and then Sasha puts in the bank statement or something like that.
Yeah,
something goofy.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I think more likely than not they're going to retain.
Yeah. All right. Now onto the match that I think will steal the night. You got the triple threat for the Raw tag titles: Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Gable and Rude versus the Revival. Now, Gable and Rude and the Revival were putting on freaking great matches already. Now you're adding these two guys in there?
Yeah, that's the one thing I worry about is because they add those two guys that they try and turn it into some kind of like spot fest.
They may.
Is that, like Ricochet is
really,
absolutely
because the Revival's like against that stuff, so I don't.
I know, but at some point Ricochet is going to be jumping off the top of the turnbuckle onto a crowd of like 6 people on the outside.
Oh yeah, but what I like with this match, I like these 3 teams because you have the Revival who are old school types,
Yep.
Like the Horsemen a little. Then you got Gable and Rude who are just legit good wrestlers.
Yep.
And then you got Ricochet and Aleister who are like you said, spot fest guys a little. I mean, Aleister not as much, but more Ricochet.
Well, and I see. I wouldn't say that because I think spot fest turns into a negative term.
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet is much better than that. He's a much better wrestler than people give him credit for, because he's so amazing and so athletic, and some of the things he does is so, like awe-inspiring, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, good word.
He's a legit good worker as well.
Yeah,
He's good in the ring. He tells a good story in the ring when he's wrestling, right? Some of his matches he had in NXT, right? What was it? Him and Gargano. That was match of the night. I thought it was better than the Ciampa match.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So
what do you think comes out of this one? Revival retain? I'd say so. I don't think you should put the title on these guys yet, and I don't think Roode and Gable need it.
I would prefer if Roode and Gable got it over Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Agreed, but
I like both of them. I think they're an awkward tag team.
Yeah, they're a little weird. It's just we paired these two guys together because
their personality, although they have the camaraderie of NXT, and I do believe that these guys are probably pretty good friends or whatever, their characters don't necessarily mesh. Their wrestling styles, though kind of similar, don't necessarily mesh. And their stories don't necessarily mesh. So it's like there's no, like, sometimes something can come to, like Miz and Shane, right? Them going together makes sense because of the story, right? Usos make sense because they're fucking brothers and it's a natural tag team, right? You put Gable and Roode together because you feel like Gable is a tag team wrestler. You have nothing for Roode. He's been good in tag teams before. Why not put these two technical guys together and they can do the whole glorious gimmick together? Waka waka. There's different reasons why tag teams work together. Now, these guys are athletically gifted. They're both likable, and I don't mind watching them wrestling. I don't know why they're a tag team, though. At least, even though it made even less sense for Johnny and Ciampa to tag in on the main roster, at least their history with DIY and the start of the sort of mutual heel respect for each other, at least that seed was sort of planted. It wasn't watered. It wasn't given sun. It wasn't allowed any time to grow. They just transplanted that shit. But at least there's a little bit of reason why those two would be together as a tag team to introduce them, right? I see no reason why Ricochet and Aleister Black are, except let's put them in a tag team so we can showcase both of them and not worry individually about their storylines yet. And that's not a good reason for a tag team, in my opinion. I think they have a good showing. What's best? What's best is probably, probably them retaining, and maybe you have Aleister and Ricochet somehow become the number one contender for Mania, and they win it from them at Mania, and then maybe they split after that. I don't know. That's the other thing too. What kind of longevity do they really have as a excuse me? What kind of longevity do they really have as a tag team? Because if they're a short-term tag team, I got to stop planning on them being a tag team. If they're a long-term tag team, we got to figure out how to make them invested in really part of the division,
Well, listen, I think a lot of it's in flux right now.
Absolutely.
Said, the shakeup's coming after WrestleMania, so maybe they split them up that way. You don't know. They go to different shows. So that's
why I think this is just a time filler. So I don't even know if you build them up for Mania as a tag team.
Yeah, a lot of this is just to get to Mania. That's all. And once Mania hits, I think there's a reset button getting hit. And everything they've been doing the last 3 months, which has been in flux and has made absolutely no sense at all, anything they've been doing.
This is actually one of those times where a reset at WrestleMania is a good idea.
Yes, definitely. They need it, and they need some order because Vince is just every week just trying something new and crazy, and nothing has made sense that he's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other thing that needs to stop happening, and I hope they don't use it too much leading towards Mania after FastLane here, is people that are fighting a high-profile match at a high-profile pay-per-view need to stop wrestling each other every week.
Yeah.
The least you can do is, if they are going to be wrestling each other, is you got to put them in some kind of a tag team or some kind of weird match or something. You know.
Yeah.
I'm also I don't need while I do want the title on Raw every fucking week, I don't necessarily need to see the champion wrestle every week. Make that go. That can go for the tag team champions too. That can go for the IC belt. That can go for the United States Championship. Now they have a good thing going with this whole. Yeah, Miz is insane.
They gotta be. They gotta be in Cleveland. The crowd's going crazy.
Probably, especially him wearing the Cleveland colors and everybody cheering like they are. Probably. Yeah. And how cool is that if you do get to do this and everybody, you have your home crowd cheering for you, and that's when you're making your heel turn against like the beloved Shane McMahon.
Yep.
But anyway,
beloved is a harsh term, but okay.
Yeah. But fans for the most part love Shane.
Yeah.
Whether they don't care and they just love it because he jumps off a fucking jumbotron still. Or whatever, but you know, for the most part, the people love Shane McMahon when he's not involved in making the decisions, so to speak. You know,
I can confirm they are in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, there you go. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So last match on the card is KO filling in for Kofi, who Vince just decided to pull out of the match, and I'm hoping this is leading to bigger and better things for Kofi, and he gets the title match at WrestleMania instead.
Yes, supposedly that is a couple different places I've heard that seem fairly legitimate. Says that there's still belief that this is leading to a Kofi thing. Yeah. That despite Vince going out there and saying, you know, thank you for 11 years, but you're not money. Vince was very impressed by the reaction and is going to whether it's going to be a triple threat match or whatever. Supposedly Kofi is in the plans for WrestleMania.
Yeah, and there's actually a chance he might win, and it'd be crazy if he's actually the first Black WWE champion. That would be crazy. Of all the people that got passed over, and then this guy who really worked his ass off and has just been a loyal guy, team player, and everything, does whatever they ask him, and he gets the thing. I think that'd be a great story. I don't know if they're going to go that way, but I think it'd be a really nice story if they do that.
Yeah. I mean, I love Kofi, so I would not mind it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people lose their mind in a bad way. Some people lose their mind in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. It is what it is. And also, too, the dude's been going, for a long time. He's kept himself at a high level. He always does some fun shit for, to stay relevant around Royal Rumble time. Him staying in the New Day and still doing the house shows and being part of a relevant group has been going strong for a few years now. So, and if not for, him forgetting that he was supposed to be, staying down for a curb stomp or whatever it was that derailed him then with Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe Kofi would have been champ before.
And that's the other thing, too. If they do go that route, you go to that right away. You go to Randy Orton and him right away.
Right?
Anyway, so tonight, what do we think? So obviously, most likely, Bryan's going to retain. I don't know if you saw this. Eric Harper came back at a house show last night.
What?
Harper.
Oh, okay. Because you were like Eric Harper, and I was like, what? Eric Rowan?
Yeah,
what?
Sorry. Luke Harper, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, maybe they have him come and help. I don't know if they're going to, reform the Wyatt family without Bray Wyatt.
Imagined. That'd be funny.
Who's disappeared.
The vegan Wyatt family.
The vegans. Yes, I don't know what we're going to do. And, but I don't see KO losing clean here. I don't know. What do you think?
No. KO does not lose clean. I could see KO winning the belt more than KO winning clean.
You mean Bryan winning clean?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, KO getting pinned clean, rather.
And listen, it should be a good match, too. These guys, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Good match.
We
got them at WrestleMania with the tag match last year, but this time we get a nice little one-on-one match. So
yeah. Cool. I am interested to see how well KO is moving. in a full match,
Especially with Brian,
Yeah. But I have confidence in Kevin Owens. Again, similar to Reigns, I don't think he'd be out there if he thought he was going to embarrass himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Shane.
Oh, Shane is going to try and drop kick him while he's going to try and frog splash Miz.
Oh, this should be cool.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If you do it up.
At least it didn't look like anybody got hurt.
Oh, Jesus. What the hell?
What?
That was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he must be a few
I'm like a
seconds
second behind, probably, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was it. When they were about to collide, I got a little nervous because it looked like Shane was going to land right under him, but Jimmy kept going.
Oh, okay. The real view doesn't look bad. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good. I thought they were going to collide at first, in midair and land on each other, but no, it was pretty good. But anyway, and still too, I still say, despite some of the negativity or the whatever with around Shane and whether you like the storyline or not, here's a dude that doesn't need to be wrestling, and he's out there giving his fucking all every time he does it.
I know, but he's taking a spot away from a wrestler who could use it. That's still.
Who?
I don't know. I'm just saying. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Oh, so shit. Oh, Miz lost. All right, I was expecting Shane to get pinned.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that's the card. Pay-per-view's in flux right now. They just Usos retained as we thought they would. So we're 1 for 1 so far.
Yay!
Or 2 for 2. Well, no, actually, no, 1 for 1 because we got the New Day match wrong.
Yeah, I told you I was 50-50 on that. Like I said, I was not surprised at all that and also too I'm unfortunately especially with Nakamura and Rusev, I'm beyond the point of they need to let him win. I feel like I'm having the Bray Wyatt argument all over again. At some point in time, you need to legitimize this guy, right? Right? No, I guess not.
Yeah.
This is also.
What the hell was he trying to do there? I don't know.
I don't know. It was some kind of roll up thing, and it just they got tangled or it was awkward or whatever.
The Eddie Splash? What was he trying to do there?
Yeah, I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, the I lost it. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
All right. So anything else you want to touch on before we sign off?
So what do you think happens with the NXT title? Who do you put it on right now? Cole?
Yeah.
Gargano?
Cole. I mean, I don't know what you do with Gargano. You kind of called him up. You're gonna keep him back down there and try to.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly, Ciampa was going to stay and retain.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Supposedly that was the original plan, and then he at the next. How they started to have mini pay-per-views every 4 weeks or whatever. They have a special show. He was probably going to lose it there and just pull double duty for a while. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the neck injury kind of changed all that.
Yeah,
I guess.
There we go. Wait for the turn.
Yeah, what I'm watching. Oh, Miz hugging his daddy. Very emotional time.
Maybe Shane turns on him. That'd be funny.
Yeah, right. Kicks his dad right in his face. You raised a loser.
No, nothing.
Oh, I thought it was right there. Oh.
No.
Oh, there's Shane. Oh, no.
Yes, no, they did do it the other way. Okay. All right. I like that. Pete, there's your surprise.
Yep.
I like it. I like it.
There is your surprise.
Ripping the Cleveland shirt. I love it. This is great. Fucking beautiful.
Here's the one problem I have with doing it this way. I think it's a nice swerve because if you thought someone was going to turn, it was going to be, Miz.
Hey, look, it's Miz Girl all grown up.
What's that?
It was Miz Girl all grown up.
Oh. Here's the one thing I don't like about Vince pulling this. Actually, you know what's going to happen is my thing, and taking Kofi out of the match. He did the same thing to. Who the fuck did he do it? He did to somebody a couple weeks ago.
Becky.
Yes, Becky. Yeah, sorry. You know what I mean? Like, so he's still sort of being like the heel, character, right? Mm-hmm. And like the four of them came out a few weeks ago saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna listen to the fans. We're gonna give you what you want. We're gonna, there's gonna be new stars and new matchups and new this and the four of us are gonna be the brain trust and we're gonna." And now you have Vince as a heel. You have Steph who walks that line every time she's out there.
She's a tweener. Triple H is a face, and
yeah, Triple H is a face, and now he's fighting for whatever. But Triple H is always a fucking face unless he's doing something.
He said it. This is the first time he's going into WrestleMania as a baby face since 2013.
Yes, by his character standard, because his character for the last whatever has been the heel and the whatever. But every time Triple H comes out and talks about NXT, what happens?
Oh, I know. We love you. Whatever.
People love Paul Levesque creating NXT or whatever it is. So Triple H is always a fucking face, But yeah, when he's doing the authority shit, and that's what he's been doing for the last few WrestleManias, right? Mm-hmm. Keeping Seth down, keeping Roman down, keeping fucking whatever, But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. What do you do when all of the people that are supposedly listening to the fans are bad guys? What does that mean then?
Yeah, it's nothing makes sense. This has probably been like one of the weirdest 3 months I've seen in wrestling, and the weirdest build. And I want to see what they do the next.
Just for all the things that are in flux, the injuries that happen, the people leaving or not leaving, or whatever the case may be.
Roman Reigns coming back. I mean, it's weird.
Sure. And I get that that thing that they did a few weeks ago was more for show, and it was a one-time thing, and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but part of the thing that we're missing right now is right. What do we always talk about? Fucking continuity of the story. Why do things make sense? We're having these athletic competitions. We're having these wrestlers wrestle, right? Because we still want to use that terminology, but there's got to be a reason for them to do it.
Yeah.
Whether it's them chasing a belt or having a personal vendetta or having something to prove or whatever the case may be. That's why sometimes you have and as amazing as they are and athletically, superior that they show that they are to their peers and all that kind of stuff, when you have like an Ospreay Ricochet match where it's really just this choreographed flip fest, yes, it's impressive. Yes, you're better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, once we've admitted that, can we have a wrestling match?
Yeah.
Because you just doing those choreographed flips and all that kind of stuff around, and that's where I think the perception of Ricochet not being a good worker, like a good wrestler, comes from, is because a lot of his matches wound up kind of looking like these choreographed flip fests,
Yeah.
We still, I think, at the core, while those things are exciting to see, and you're going to go, oh my God, did you see the Ospreay match? Oh my God, did you see Ricochet's match? Oh my God, you got to see YouTube, right? Those are the hot things, right? But the feuds and the the episodic, right? That's why everybody is involved, whether they right? Because here's the thing, right? Just like they like to say with fucking John Cena, right? Doesn't matter if they cheer, doesn't matter if they boo. He's just getting a reaction. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if people are complaining about the WWE or telling everybody how much they love it or telling everybody how they could book it better or what. people are talking about it. People are creating a buzz about it. These things that Ronda does, these things that Triple H is doing, these things that these wrestlers do create buzz. And it's our reaction that fuels everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say it's hard to argue that although I don't like the reality of Ronda like ripping down that fourth wall, as much as I don't like that, they set out for people to hate Ronda and to feel like they want to hate her because she's going to be disrespecting the business. And then she comes out with this video disrespecting the business, and everybody's losing their minds. And if you think everybody backstage is not going, fuck it, we nailed it, home run, then you're crazy. And if you think the the sanctity of the wrestling holy grail is
Oh boy, here we go. Opposite Shield promo.
oh Jesus. Don't have it up too loud, otherwise we'll have third party problems.
Oh my God, Pete! Really? You had a feeling this was going to happen? Oh, shut up.
Jeez. There's going to be no surprises. Yeah, I called that surprise.
Dick. Anyway, all right. Anything else?
No, I think we're good. I think we covered everything.
All right. So we will try
to do a crazy show. First one back, right?
Yeah.
Give our predictions. Enjoy the pay-per-view. We're gonna go back to our live chatting in the Facebook group, TnF Wrestling on Facebook. There's a page and a group. You can go there, check us. We're TnF Wrestling at TnF Wrestling on Twitter, right? So hit us up on social media. We love chatting wrestling. We love talking about it while it's happening live, and oh my God moments, and oh, wasn't that cool moment, or fucking I can't believe they did that moment,
Yeah.
But it's cool, it's fun. We love chatting with you guys.
Just having discussions, talked about the Ronda thing, so
sure,
things like that. All right, everyone. We'll enjoy the show, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. And the road to WrestleMania is officially in route.
Right now, Frank, what we should have a crowd cheering, and we should lean into the mic and go, "It's good to be back."
Or it's still real till us, damn it.
Oh yes, we can do that too. So it's all wrestling related.
Yep.
All right, brother. No, it was good to get this back. Talk wrestling again in this format is good.
All right.
And we're gonna try and kick this off again, and hopefully do these at least for the pay-per-views, right?
At least
for that, and then hopefully we'll get back to a weekly schedule again.
Yep.
All right, brother. Take care, brother.
Take care, everybody. Enjoy it. See you next time.